It's Barrett Cohen, WLSN, LaSalle Broadcasting Network here in San Diego. Beautiful San Diego, sun setting here, and I have the privilege and pleasure, if anybody's been following my journey out here in San Diego, you've had the opportunity to see and hear me talk about a young man who really had a great impact on my life, and certainly was a guy I love to follow and still today love to follow. He is Dylan Alberado. Dylan, what's going on, my man?
Just hanging out with you, really having a good time out here in San Diego.
I met you originally back in 2010. So 2010, we're talking 4 years ago. You were a Kings football player, and you went on to graduate, had a nice career at Kings, went on to graduate. Kind of take us from there. Where did you go after graduation, and take us to where you are today?
Started out, I was working a little bit in the summertime over at Kings Island, and then after summer's ended, I went to University of Cincinnati Blue Ash. Kind of decided, this isn't where I want to be at right now, and they didn't have the classes that I wanted, so kind of stopped going there and then started working, really went blue collar and took it out, and really experienced life for a little bit and worked at Dick's Sporting Goods and Steak and Shake and really did some crapshoot jobs, and then, got a good one over. You'd never think delivering pizzas would be a good job, but that is it's a good dead end job.
You ever find yourself eating some of the pizza on your way to delivery?
No comment.
Thank you very much. Dylan, here's what fascinates me about your story. You weren't a guy, and I put this out on Facebook and Twitter, you weren't a guy that you're going to find out who was going to be in the front page of the Cincinnati Enquirer. You were a guy that played for more than just yourself. You were part of something special. You were part of the team. You really are one of those guys that I just love to follow because you took every adversity that you had faced in your life, you used it to your advantage. And I think it's a great lesson for people as they continue on throughout life. But even more so now, you continue to give back because now you're serving over here at the United States Navy base over here in San Diego. Your life is really, and I don't know if you appreciate this, but you just continue to give. Talk about that experience at Kings High School and how that has prepared you in this life of service that you continue to do today in the United States military.
Well, I have to really credit it to, first of all, the passion and hard work for everything that I do is definitely a credit to my parents. My mom, she's always working hard for the things that she wants, and my dad works backbreaking jobs to get the money that he needs. So having that kind of attitude and really wanting to persevere and thrive for something, it really helps you in life. And sometimes not getting what you want, that's one of the best things that can happen to you because it shows you that you're not always going to get what you want, but you keep working and you keep dreaming about it, and maybe eventually one day you'll get there.
You have any idea the impact that you have in this country? I mean, you're going to, here in a few short months, going to be going on a journey overseas. Obviously, you don't know where, but even if you did, you couldn't share that with us. But do you realize the impact you are making on so many people across this world? When
I'm home, yes, but when you're around the same people every day, it wears on you. But going home, seeing how proud everyone is, it really kind of humbles you. It makes you feel good. The fact that I'm out here doing a job, I'm very fortunate to have. It just makes me feel really good, and I'm glad that people understand that. And when I'm coming home from a flight and someone's willing to give up a first class seat for a sailor or a soldier or anything, that's a huge thing. That's a big credit to, the American people. They love us. So it's nice to be in that situation.
To the people back at home in the Kings community that might be listening to this interview now, what's one memory from Kings that you had? One thing that, when you're having those bad days out here in San Diego, people are probably laughing, how do you have a bad day in San Diego? But you're on the naval base, okay? So when you're having a bad day, a lot of times we like to grab to something and maybe early in our life that made us happy. I know Kings was a great experience for you. What's one thing that, looking back, that you'll recall and kind of something you hold on tight when you want to change your mood, if you will?
I got a couple things. I really like to think back to all my good times with my buddies, really going out and having fun with them. Football was big. I think about that 55-yard punt every day. That's something big. You can't forget that kind of stuff. That's memories that no one can take away from you, and gold can't buy that from you. So it's really cool. It's really nice to think about that stuff and try to tell stories about the things that I've done back home that I enjoyed.
Dylan, it's great to talk to you and catch up with you. This is the second time I've done so, and the second time I've been out here in about 3 weeks. I know you're looking forward to hopefully getting back home and seeing your friends back at Kings again, but anything you want to share with the people back home at all? Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
I want to give a shout-out to the Flemings, definitely to you, Barrett. You're a testament to you're a great guy, coming out here and pursuing your dreams. So I'll give you a shout out. And I'd also like, my stepfather. I don't show him enough love, but I love him. So
Dylan, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. With everything you've done out here. I mean, you're a lot like me in the fact that it's tough to get out of your comfort zone. And I've talked off the air a little bit about getting outside that comfort zone, doing something like you're doing, going across country where you know nobody, and engage in something like you're doing right now. I'll tell you what, I'm proud of you, and I really look up to you for everything you've done. And I don't know if you realize that, but what you're doing is a whole heck of a lot more impressive in my book than anything remotely what I'm doing. So thank you so much, and I'm going to keep following your progress in the next few years.
Thank you, Barrett.
That's Dylan Alberado here in San Diego. Dylan, it's cold out here. What is it, like 60?
I'm going to say it's probably about 65.
People at home don't want to hear that, do they?
No, not at all.
That's Dylan Alberado on WLSN and the LaSalle Broadcasting Network.